Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Scott, thank you for the intro, and hello Jamie. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, Andy. Happy Thursday.
Yes, happy Thursday to you too. And hello to everybody out there. I see some regulars, I see some new people, and that is great. We welcome all, and let's just dive in. Before we do, let's go over our disclaimer here real quick. Trade Ideas, we are a publisher, we're content providers, and this is for educational purposes only, okay? Nothing that you see or hear today, even though we'll be talking about some pretty cool looking setups, but it should not be construed as investment advice. Okay, where you want to save that for a registered, either a broker or an advisor, somebody that can help you with that legally. All right, we want to talk a little bit about our 5-star support, education, and training here. Uh, we do realize that some people get this and they open it up and they're like, wow, where do I start? And we understand, and it is our job to help you to realize that once you dig into it, you're going to find out that it's not as complicated and as daunting as it looks, and it's our job to help you do that. The first stop is the trader's room. Okay, Barry is our moderator in there. You get to look over his shoulder. This is free for everyone, even if you have trade ideas or not. And you get to see the trade ideas in action. And not only that, he calls out trades and along with a lot of other good traders in there. But I think what a lot of people miss is, after maybe the first hour and a half to 2 hours of trading, Barry welcomes any questions about the software that you might have. So that is a great place, even though a lot of people feel like I'm not going to bring up this. Everybody wants to talk about trading. That's not the case. There's a lot of traders in there that will help you as well. It's just a kind of a happy community in there, and everybody's helping each other. We provide webinars Monday through Thursday, all in the same time slot. That is 5 Eastern time. You can see them there on the left side. 3 out of 4 of those is going to be a juggling of myself, Jamie, or Steve, going to be handling those duties. But on Wednesday, we have a special Q&A/demo version where Dan Merkin, our CEO, and Brad Williams, our CTO, they will walk you through some new stuff coming down the pike, and welcome any questions in there as well. And then, guys, if that's not enough, we offer a Friday support session every Friday at 11 a.m. This is a great hangout. People love coming in there and learning more. It's just an open forum where we open up the questions box and you ask the questions and we answer them. All right, let's dive in and talk a little bit about TI University, okay? Because I see a lot of people. I had one today that he got the software and he's just ready to go. But guys, any job that you get into, and trading is a career for some people. But even if it's not a career and it's still just kind of a part-time gig for you, you still need to learn the business, just like you would learn any business that you went to work for. So take the time. If you can't make these live, they're all on our YouTube channel. Go to our playlist. Each curriculum is an hour long, and there's a Q&A in the live version afterwards. But take the time and learn. Go through these and learn the product. And of course, we're here for any questions that you might have, and we will help you. Definitely get started with this. All right, let's talk about what I'm going to basically spend a good portion of today on, and that is our new paper trader. It is here, okay? I'm sure most of you have probably already downloaded the new beta version, which does have access to the paper trader. This is going to be a way for you to test your strategies, your portfolio management skills, your trading, whatever you want to do, okay? You no longer have to have a broker connection, okay? You don't have to fund an account, okay? You basically use our Brokerage Plus interface. We'll dive into it later, but anyway, it's here. Now I say coming soon. I forgot to change that. It's here now. So we're going to spend a good portion of the day on that today. All right. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see here. got one more slide to go over, and that's our agenda for today. We're going to do a little bit on the market recap and Holly recap. Holly, with the way the market moved today, I was really impressed with Holly. There was a couple of really good trades in there, and Jamie will go over that and kind of break that down for us. But yeah, I thought Holly did really well today, especially on the one trade that Jamie will highlight. Now, I shared with you last week, and don't worry if you weren't here, I'll share it with you again. A window called top list called revenue growth fishing, and we're going to revisit that, guys, because I am finding some really gems in there. And anytime I build a window and I feel like thank you, Waleed likes it. Anytime, and then I check it out for a week, and I start finding some really good trades. I'm going to bring it back to your attention because some windows are special, and this is a pretty good one. And we'll take a look at some of the setups in there. Yeah, Waleed, you can do that. Waleed changed it to an alert window, which is fine. I kind of like it in top list fashion. We'll talk more about that and the reasons why I do, but yeah, nothing wrong with turning into alert. And then, like I was mentioning, we're going to talk about the paper trader. It is live now. We're going to talk about how you can trade from the charts and building strategies inside the B plus and adjusting your stops on the charts and all that good stuff. All right, well, with that said, let me back out of this and let's pull up the SPY chart and talk about what we're seeing here in the market. Let me zoom in a little bit. And let's put on the SPYs. Okay, so boy, the intraday action over the last 5 days, except for this day right here, has been kind of non-existent. You can see here a lot of dojis. But once again, very similar to what we saw over here. We've kind of broken out of this funky range down here. Let me just go ahead and draw them. I don't know why. Guess I gotta save it. Let me just go ahead and draw these ranges here real quick. And I'm gonna use the body down here. All right, so this is the no man's land funky range, and really this is kind of its brother, because it's obviously a little more appealing to the bulls because you're not far from all-time highs once again, and we're seeing pretty much the same action as we saw over here. We get up here close to highs, the volume really kind of goes down like we're seeing right now in the SPYs. You can see here the relative volume 0.86. Seems like the big volume comes to our downside. That is not unusual over the last several years. This is what we've seen. Doesn't matter, price is what pays. And here we are. We're flirting around back with all-time highs again. Now, that being said, boy, you know how I feel about anytime we get to all-time highs. It just seems like we just peter out, not a lot of movement. And we'll see if that changes. Well, first of all, we got to get there. Okay, right now we're kind of right in the middle of this range. Okay, funk, we'll call this funk number 2 and this funk number 1. And right now we're in funk number 2. Right in the middle of the range. We'll see what can happen. The only good thing that I think that we really have working for us this time around is earnings season. If you really get some blowout numbers, okay, that might be the juice we need to break out of this. Would be a triple top, and you know what they say, there's no such thing as triple tops and triple bottoms. But we'll see what happens. It remains to be seen. But yeah, once again, like Steve was mentioning the other day, not a lot of bullish, sentiment in this. Well, I shouldn't say sentiment. That's not the right word. But as far as the technicals go, the bears really nothing really strong except for the fact that you do have major resistance up here right now in the form of a double top. Other than that, we're back above our moving averages. The 10 is coming across the 50 and trying to cross back through the 20. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the Qs. But once again, until we get out of these, either funk number one on the bottom or funk number 2 on top, we're just in funk land. So let's see if the Qs look any different with the Netflix earnings this morning. And a little bit better. It's, closer to this high going back here in September, and it's closer to this high going back here in August, I believe. So let's just draw the top line here. I won't draw the other ones. So yeah, not far, not far. IWM, let's see if it's trying to join the party yet. And it did a better day, but boy, that has to be taken lightly, because we are still right in the middle of no man's land. Right, pretty much in the middle of this high and this low going back right here. So still nothing really going on in IWM. That doesn't mean it can't change. Yes, Jeff, the volume has been rather anemic lately, and it's not surprising, which, it is discouraging if you're bullish and we get up here in all-time highs and you still start to see this real, anemic volume. I think what it is, I don't think you have a lot of shorts in this market, so I think they've given up a long time ago. Seems like you're always fighting something, Fed, China, or something. But and yeah, I don't know. Are we fairly valued? I don't know. For whatever reason, anytime we get up here over the last year or so, we just kind of peter out at all-time highs. Had a little bit of movement here, but just nothing to write home about. All right, Jamie, anything that you would like to add? We're definitely getting, right back up here near all-time highs, but
Oh yeah, what a difference,
I have to
7, 8 trading days have made,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. And a good portion of it is in gaps. You had a big gap here. That was your big one. Little one here, but little one today, but it didn't hold up very well. All right,
Yeah,
Jamie.
we all
Well,
know
if
that's the way they like to do it with the gaps. Yeah,
oh
so I
yeah,
can take it now, and we can. They're,
okay.
just like you were saying earlier, on a day where the volume wasn't anything significant, had the gap up, nice little peel off in the spies before we kind of settled out in the middle of the range there. But yeah, on a day like today, to see Holly posting some significant numbers over here, if we take a peek at the tool or the channel bar, these kind of cancel each other out, leaves about 30, but approaching 3.5 points on not that many trades. What do we have here today? We had 25, 32 trades total, and a lot of risk off, risk on spread to talk about. I mean, considering the number of trades, basically, I believe all of these guys right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really good examples of risk off, risk on spread. And interestingly enough, 3 longs and 3 shorts in the mix as well. So obviously the one that sticks out the most is this TMUS right here. Here we have it on the 15-minute chart. Reduced risk came into play on this one, and she took a 9-cent loser. Pretty interesting right here, because we had already had a little peel off over the first 30 minutes. Holly gets long right here at the 79.58 level, and promptly looks like it might stop out, but just comes close, but no stop out. So more and more I'm getting more attracted to these types of plays with Holly, because, well, can't say it gives us an advantage, but when you see something like this, Holly gets in, the stop almost occurs, and then we see this next bar forming right here. Well, if we're not in the play with Holly already, maybe we're already in some, or maybe we're not in any at all. It'd just be the difference between adding or initiating an initial position here. But once we see this bottoming wick put in and these candles start to form right here, right underneath the line, in my opinion, that's that gives confidence. So once again, we have the opportunity, once we see this wick being put in here, all through here, another 1, 2, 3. So for 30 minutes moving forward during the risk off time, plenty of time to get a better price than Holly. Taking into account that we almost had a stop out, but not quite. We got the nice wick for comfort. and then they never really take it back down there. So this is a great example, not using Holly's initial signal, or maybe you did, but if you didn't take the initial signal, Holly's showing you something very interesting in a reduced risk type of exit. Of course, reduced risk did not occur until over here, and she was lost a little bit just right below the line there, but this whole area of interest right here, very appealing, since we can get a better price than Holly and even take less risk. Now, this line up here, look what happened after this thing strengthened up, gets a little help from the 10 period as well, and then really starts the bigger move of the day. Eyes are drawn over here to the previous high that was put in on the open, and once we get past that level right there, just a nice grind up for the rest of the day. So also a good opportunity if you were in this one as it slowly increased and popped that new high. Nice little opportunity right in here to add to that position on a secondary pattern emerging there in the form of a range break. And T-Mobile not doing too shabby volume today, finishing the day at 2.33 on the relative scale. So some very nice opportunity in the TMUS, even though it started out a little shaky. So what do we have there? About a buck. Well, we had, -9. Of course, we got to add that. So that's about a $1.58 of spread in there between -9 and a positive 149. Next, we'll just knock out all the longs here first and then take a look at the shorts. Timed exit. All of these are timed exits with the exception of the CDLX that we'll get to at the end here. So 45 cents versus a $1.10. So we had another 65 cents in there between 45 and a $1.10. This one, not too bad. We kind of ebbed and flowed for about 15 minutes after the entry, then boom, 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 off to the races, get a nice little run up here. And Holly just makes it through the duration of the timed hold, which was the bullish pullback. We can always take a look at the strategy panel to see that bullish pullbacks, two different versions today from different modules. But both of these are designed around a 45 intraday hold time. Oops, got off my mark there. So we can see right here, Holly exits because that's what she's programmed to do. Books are 45 cents. All we had to do is say, you know what, going to take a little bit more risk, either keep the whole position, maybe we do the 50-50, get out of half. This one would have been nice with a break-even stop. As you can see, once it got up to these levels here, never even acted like it was going to roll back over to break even. We can play the same game here later on when it breaks significantly. A nice little push up into the close for about the past hour and 15, or the last hour and 15 minutes of the market. So some strong alpha in CNC as well. 45 cents versus a $1.10. And the last long here, SFIX, a little bit different of a pattern. We already had the high put in, a little pullback here, buyer stepping in, even though that kind of looks more like a pullback alert, but it was buyer stepping in. After the little pullback here, Holly scooping it up at 22.61. And once we got that price, pretty much didn't see it again for the remainder of the day. So nice fill, up immediately or up pretty quickly. And once again, as this thing gravitated back, once again, adhering to that 10 period pretty tightly. Once we break these highs right here, this one followed suit like the other two as well. Boom, boom, boom. So for the last hour and 45 minutes or so, continued upside and a nice little spot right here if you wanted to leverage that position on this secondary pattern playing out. Stitch Fix, not doing too shabby volume. Finished maybe 16% above normal. What did CNC finish at? CNC finished pretty strong as well with 1.67. So for the three longs there with the risk off, all doing decent volume. Some doing a little bit higher than others. And now for a short play in BK here. Talk about a nice entry. It's going to be a little hard to find a better entry on this one. Boom, just pops it right at the high there. A little wicking action before the trade doesn't take too long to start working for us. In this one, timed exit as well. Holly books her 27 cents here, but we can see what happened soon after. Matter of fact, the next candle out, we pop below the 10 period, which is always a good sign. Notice what's happening here as well. We're breaking the opening range and we get some nice follow through here. So, yep, that's pretty accurate, lining up with these bars right here. Probably a few cents more on the table down here, but pretty close as far as holding that one into the close. So we got a difference here between 75 cents and 27 cents. So 48 cents left on the table there, which we could have picked. Once again, not bad volume, right at 1.99. And on this one, let's see, BK. Well, there was one other cool thing I was going to point out about this one, but it's already slipped my mind. But other than that, a great entry, nice secondary pattern unfolding, and decent volume as well. Oh, and by the way, what I was going to say is the break-even stop, if you wanted to go risk on, kept you in this one easily. Never even acted like it was going to get back up there. Why? Looks pretty similar to BK on the entry. Reason being because look at all these shorts. They were issued by the same algorithm, putting on the brakes. Putting on the brakes at the top, very similar to what we saw in BK. Not a bad fill. We get some immediate capitulation only to get a jerk back up to that entry line. So this one would have been a little bit harder to stay in. Matter of fact, once you see these two green bars closing above that 10 period, you know, flip a coin. You know, you would have had to sit this one all the way back up here, so the break-even stop would not have kept you in. But as fate would have it, you know, this looks like it's got the algorithms written all over it. As soon as they get everybody out, if you were using the break-even stop or just wick back above there, we get the bigger move of the day. So 72 cents, an additional 42 cents between 30 and 72 on the YY. And then this one pretty significant because a stop out occurred in regular risk off mode. Now, once again, if you're in this one and got stopped out, well, we all know that just happens from time to time. But taking a page from the other playbook that is Holly, not just the immediate signals, but if you weren't in this one and you saw a stop out occur, well, look at what you had right here. Stop out with the wick. This candle starts to form. So once again, this is an opportunity. You know, we're significantly above that that price line, 39.34. So somewhere up here, you could have gotten, man, 20, 30 cents better than Holly. Once we see the wick put in, we see this candle start to form. Use this wick as our exit, and that would have kept us in the trade for a pretty significant move here between negative 39 cents and positive 50 cents. So that's really an 89-cent spread there. So, you know, the real value came on this one on the secondary entry, not necessarily the first. But that's the nature of Holly, and that's what we're starting to realize by watching over and over again. Hey, whenever you see Holly exiting on a reduced risk or a profit save or a stop hit, there still might be some good opportunity in there. It's just, hey, Holly's timing may or may not have been the best on the exit or the stop out, and we see the wicking pattern put in. Sometimes that can provide us with a really good entry. So interesting blotter from Holly, a strong blotter today, and three of the biggest risk off, risk on spreads being longs, three shorts. That's some good variety there. So all in all, not a bad day from the AI known as Holly.
We would be remiss if we did not talk about HEPA though.
Oh yeah. We can't forget about the big winner. We were just talking about the risk on, risk off spread here. So let's find the HEPA. Where are you hiding, HEPA? Okay. Yeah, small dollar stock with massive gains today. All right. $3.91 for the entry price. A little ebb and flow shortly thereafter, but no stop hit, most important thing. $3.91, and then boom, look at that. I mean, we had $5.60 on the table for, you know, once again, this risk, where's my max profit? Okay, this max profit metric right here, 94 cents, is only looking at the risk off time. So that's from here to here, where, you know, what do we have here at the top? About 548. So man, $1.48, $1.57 on a $3.91 stock for max profitability. Boy, it's going to be, I mean, there you have it. I mean, just not a whole lot of debate about that. You know,
No,
risk off profit, 19%. Um, we're going to see less risk on profit because of the peel off that it had, basically
sure.
back down below the line there.
Yeah,
But, you know, some massive percentage gain in risk off, 19%, which is really, really good for risk off, because usually when we see a 19 or 20%, Randy, it's in risk on mode most of the time. But Holly played this one pretty much perfectly. Left a little bit on the table here, 467, that target getting hit, 466. And
mm-hmm.
then there was another almost $1 in play if you chose to stay in it a little bit longer. And we can see, you know, HEP had been down here. I guess this is a relatively new issue, Andy, because that's all I can see on my daily.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah,
Yeah, so we got a little gap up all the way above, and then pretty much in the no man, or, you know, in the blue sky once the open occurred there. But hey,
yeah,
Holly knocked it out of the park on HEPA.
yeah. She
Big
did.
time.
That was a huge percentage gain there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and by the way, what was the volume like on HEPA today from a relative stance? Look at that. You almost have to take a double take there and go,
Mm-hmm.
are my numbers wrong?
No.
243 on the relative volume. But hey, guess what? You know, we've always talked about how low floats, when the action comes in, you're going to see it. And that is really the epitome of this trade. 3.45 million shares in the float. Okay. That's about as small as they come. I mean, there are some smaller floats out there. But when you see volume like this, you know, 37 million shares coming into a 3 million share float, hey, this is the poster child for a low float mover in HEPA, and Holly got it. And boy, you just got to be pretty stoked about that.
Yep, you really do, man. That was a good one. That was
Mm-hmm.
impressive. All right,
Yeah.
Jamie. Well, thanks,
All
buddy.
right. Sure.
Good
Let me kick
job.
it back over to you.
All right. Let me go ahead and turn this one, make it small again. All right, so this one that I shared last week is called revenue growth fishing, and I'm just going to run through it real quick and what I'm looking for when I built it. And for those who are new in here today, we're just going to take a look at the configuration. And it's a top list. So even though Wally turned his into alert, mine's just a simple top list. You can see there, two of these are just price, parameters and volume parameters. I'm looking for stocks that do at least 500,000 shares a day. They have to be over $5. Position in 3-month range. I'm looking for ones that have been kind of beaten up over the last 3 months or trading at the lower end of the 3-month range. This is a new filter that you all have access to. And then the other one, position in 10-day range, just possibly stocks that are kind of turning around on the 10-day time frame and showing strength possibly over the last 10 days, but they've been kind of hanging out in the last hopefully last few weeks in the lower part of the 3-month range. And here's the kicker: quarterly revenue growth, it has to be at least 20% minimum. That's pretty decent revenue growth out there for any company. So I'm looking for stocks that have potential, to really explode if they can make this turnaround happen. So I shared with this last week. So we're going to go back over the last week and just take a look at some of the stocks that's been in here. And we'll pull up the spiders right quick because we've had a little move in the spiders over the last week, especially with that, gap up there. But over the last few days, hadn't been doing a whole lot. But I think you're going to see some much bigger moves in this one because let me just pull one up here. Let's go back and look. Let's go back in our historical date here, and we're going to take a look at some of these. And we'll just go back to, we'll start with last Wednesday. Okay. These are going to be after the close. Now, some stocks may have come in during the day and fallen back out, but this is just going to be the way they close. You can see here it's after hours. And let's just go through it together. I think we can all learn what we're looking for here. ALGN, I think it's a beauty if I remember. Yeah, look at this one right here. Beautiful bottom fell out right here, probably earnings, and then it came down here, and look at that beautiful bottoming process over the last couple of months there. Just could not get below this 175, 174 level. Tried many times, and then now you probably would have gotten it on, the good chance you might have gotten it on this day. But nonetheless, we're just looking right here on 10/9, and which would have been this date right here. It was on here, and look at this subsequent move afterwards. And take a look here, looking at a stock with a 22%, 22.5% revenue growth. And I'm just going to show you some of the things I like to look at as well, along with revenue growth is great, all right, but I want to look at the debt. I want to look at the earnings per share, even though that's not quite as important when you have huge revenue growth, okay, because they eventually, if you keep this growth up, they know you're going to start making money. So, but I love this. You got 720 million cash. You only got a current debt of 75, so no, no debt really there, to speak of. You want to be careful with the ones where you see like 75 million here and only 10 million of cash. Those kind of scare me a little bit. So those are the things I like to look at. Price to earning, sometimes if it's just way up there, yeah, I'm always leery of that. All right, let's take a look at this cyber. I don't think this one worked, if I remember correctly. It hasn't, but really just hanging out. Look what's happened here. This is why I like to use this. I like to kind of just use my set my price alert, so it'll trigger when it goes off, and then I can decide and take a look at the volume, take a look at seeing what's happening in the marketplace, and I can decide to trade it or not. And I've done this a couple of times this week, and I'll show you the ones I've done. GOL, this is, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I wouldn't trade this anyway. It's a Brazilian airline, I believe. All right, let's go to another date here. Let's go to the 10th. Now this is weird because earlier Facebook was in here. It's playing games with me. I don't know what's going on there. I wonder if it's still active around. All right, here's Chug on the 10th, which would have been, come on, click for me. That's the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. All right, so right here, you had Chug in here trying to make an effort. Nothing to write home about, but still obviously up on the day. BMA, this is one that's just kind of been real quirky. It's just been really just kind of flatlining. It can't get anything going. I think this, when I see ones like this that have a lot of head fakes, I usually look for some significant move, because I know you can get really, wicked in and out, back and forth when you see this really tight action where it doesn't do anything. So, maybe this is one you set up here higher, above that 50 period moving average, and you just look for a bigger move out of this area. All right, you could even probably move it up here as well, put it right under that kind of level right there. All right, let's move forward. Let's go to the 11th. Then Friday, the 11th. And this is one that I got my eye on big time right here, Spotify. This is setting up really nice. Now, I bought this in a paper trading account today, just kind of keep an eye on my paper trading. But this is one, earnings are in about 12 days, October 28th. So you gotta watch that for sure. But boy, this is one that's kind of been beaten up, fallen from grace. But boy, like Roku and Facebook, they're starting to show signs, and that really bugs me that it may be something. Let me try this right quick. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Just trust me. Facebook was in here. I saw it. Maybe it was a different time frame. Okay, this one that kind of head faked. This is not basing as well as some of those other ones. You can see there it's kind of falling down from this area, and now you got to deal with all this over here. Okay, so that kind of concerns me, and that you saw what happened there. But one, definitely to keep an eye on, especially if it can get above that range. There was a nice one right there on the 11th. Okay, Cigna. We talked about Chug, but boy, that was a nice little 15. It would have been right there. So yeah, you had plenty of time to react on that one. Chug, we already looked at. I'm not sure what this DouYu is. Once again, Chinese stock or something like that. It looks like not gonna trade that. All right, let's move forward. And trust me, guys, this is good stuff. I mean, 14th. This is one I took today. GH. I thought this was setting up beautiful. All right, because you have a nice spacing pattern here. I don't know. I hope it works out. But I love the revenue growth of 178%. They got plenty of cash over debt. So I will, Ian. I will definitely share this. So this is one that was poking in here. You can see it. This is back on the 14th. It was giving you a signal. And what I did today, I can't remember if I did a price alert or what I did, but definitely one I jumped in today pretty early this morning. TWO, that's kind of setting up there as well. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe one, you want to put a price alert right there. I'll put one there as well. Kind of keep an eye on it. I think we already looked at that one. LK, Chinese coffee company. You look at that quarterly revenue growth, but what scares me here is, man, look at this earnings. I'm not sure what's going on there. That's a little too steep for me, but nonetheless, it was hot for a while, and kind of, when it first came, I don't know if it's a new issue back here. Yeah, that's too volatile for me. I don't know where that's going. IRWD. Nah, that one's, I don't know, that one's kind of sloppy there. Yeah, and look here, you got 98 million cash. That's what I'm talking about. And I start seeing that, I get a little bit nervous. So I'm not gonna look at that one. Moving forward, let's take a look at what are we on now? The 14th, so we're getting here pretty closer to real time. And this was on the 14th, guys. Zillow, right on this day right here, you were given the signal to keep an eye on Zillow. Look at this subsequent move right here. Nice. Robert Plant. Not sure what that signal here is for. I don't think I bought that. Planet Fitness, but I'm not going to take a look at all these Zillow groups. Xilinx is one I think I'm keeping my eye on, but it needs to. Yeah, this one is a little bit different. I mean, it really needs to get above this level right here for me to be, kind of interested in this. It's kind of messy through here. You can see it's probably fallen. It's fallen out of the recent one. There's that. Aha! Look here. This is another one that I took. Beautiful lift. Even though it really hasn't gone anymore, I took it back on this day right here, on the 14th. No, I'm sorry, on the 15th. And I also took Uber. I'm not sure why Uber's in there, but I'm in those two. CSIQ, I haven't looked at this one. These solars are, man, I don't know about those. There's LK, HQY. Yeah, one, this was on the 14th, so right back there. It's had a couple of days move. So anyway, I'm not gonna, that's about it, guys. We'll go to real time now. I just wanted to show you there's some, some pretty big names coming in there. Spotify, Zillow, Facebook, Roku. Roku was coming through here too. I'm not going to go back to prove it. You're just going to have to trust me. Right around one of these days, right in here, it was coming through Roku. So, and I didn't find it on there. It's one I've been watching, but it was on there. So, guys, you can see there's some pretty good looking stuff that's setting up in here. And I really believe, you know, you can really, you know, if you play this one, you know, use this and play it correctly. You've almost got to wait for the move, but and not try to anticipate. If you do, you know, and you're wrong, you just got to get out. The thing about these, if you're right, you want to try to hit it big. Okay. Roku, I took that one. I got out too early. I mean, it was a nice 10% move, but gosh, look what it had after that, you know. But you know, I'm one. I like to take it and move on to the next trade. Let me go live during market hours, see if anything's setting up today new in here. See if anything. You guys can a lot more in here. That's for sure. All right. Yes, I'm going to share this with you, Ian. I'll share it right now. Revenue growth fishing. So I got to move on and start talking about the paper trader. But guys, make this one part of your arsenal. I think it can be a really good one. I'll put it in the chat window there for you guys. I'm just going to call it Redfish. Cut my phone off. Everybody's getting tweet happy or message happy over there. All right, it's in the chat window, guys, so you can grab it if you didn't grab it last week. All right, guys, the paper trader is here. And I just did a couple of market shares a day. You know, we just got this yesterday, and it's been kind of freezing up on it. We think we have that fixed now for the most part. In other words, you'll see data, and then all of a sudden you won't see data, and then I tell them, hey, it froze, and they fix it. And he thinks he found the bug on that. So just be with us in the early going. Okay, we stuck it out there for you guys, and only told people like at webinars or in Barry's room. We haven't really advertised this yet, and you know, it probably will be in beta for a couple of weeks, and then we'll release it to, you know, do we have to download a new version? Yes, Jeff, you have to download. This is the version you want. You can go to our website and download 4.2.105. That's the one you want. And what I'm going to do today, I know a lot of people are new. I know some of you guys have been using Brokerage Plus and you know how to use it, but I want to just kind of run down some of the important topics here to help those who, yes, we'll get you going, Vladimir. Yes, you know what? It's probably mine. We're doing the same thing today. My positions were not updating, and my P&L would turn to 0. It happened about 2 times today, and now it seems to be working fine. Hopefully tomorrow you won't have any issues. But just remember, we just released it out of beta. Even though we banged on it a lot, you know, there's a lot more people coming in and using it on the server. So we just, you know, for whatever reason, some bugs could be happening there. I think it is on the server side, but I'm pretty sure it is. All right, so let me go over some quick important topics when it comes to this. First of all is your connection. All right, when you open up 105 and you have Brokerage Plus opened up, if not, you have to go to new and launch one. Now it should automatically be connected. Okay, if it's not, just click on the connection sign and go to connect Trade Ideas Paper Trader. Okay. And try this, Vladimir, every time you have first thing you want to do when you have an issue, and I know you've done this, I think you told me, you just go ahead and disconnect, okay? And then come back in and connect and reconnect. All right? That usually, you know, should fix it if it's anything on your end. Okay, obviously if it's a bug on our end, you know, let us know about it. And don't worry, we're always looking at it, so we'll be notifying them as well. But just remember, this is your connection, and make sure you don't go to Interactive Brokers, go to Trade Ideas Paper Trading, okay? The next topic is, I want to talk about the tabs. How do you open up the tabs? You may not, I'm not sure exactly when it comes over how many tabs are open for you, but the major ones that you should have open are positions, orders, executions. You can see them up there. Messages, if you want to see, if you're able to see a reason why you didn't get connected, or sometimes it'll be in the message tab. But the main ones you're going to be in, okay, is positions open, or you can do positions open and closed. All right. You can do all strategy. Yeah, leave this on all strategies, all accounts. You might as well leave it there. You're only going to have one paper trading account. But the next important tab is your strategies window, and this is where you're going to have a couple already built in here, a few. I said discretionary long, discretionary short. That will always stay on. That allows you to basically right-click on a chart and trade from the chart, or if you want to do it in this area down here, you can also, buy and sell, put in the price, stop if you want to. Okay, Slava, if you would, send that to info@trade-ideas.com. Yeah, how are you trying to modify your stops? By using the charts or doing them in the... Let me see if I just put a stop in this. I'm sorry, I've been doing most of my stuff on the, let me add that column in there. Yeah, stop price. So I just took a stop price in here. You're not able to right click and go modify stop orders and use enter exact order and do it that way. And the other way you can do it, and this is good to show everybody, if I pull up pins, all right, you're going to see my stop order in there right now. So if I wanted to move it up, I could just do this and it should change. Let's see if it changes for me. There you go. It just changed. Both gave you an error. Okay. A 106 is out now, huh? Well, okay. Go ahead and download that 106. They just must have uploaded that one.
Yeah, that one literally popped in probably right before the webinar started, Andy.
Okay. Okay. Slava, try to go and download that new version. I haven't seen any issues with. You just saw how I adjusted the stop order. And once I haven't had any trouble just doing this. Modifying them as well. But download that latest one. It should work. Now, one thing you're not going to have that will eventually hopefully be released is what's called clear day trading window. It'll be in the new section. Okay, it's on our dev version, but we don't have it for you yet. And this is where you can basically just wipe out everything by clicking it. Now, when that does become available, what you have to do is click on clear day trade, or not day trade, trading, paper trading account. And nothing will happen at first. Then you have to go and disconnect and then reconnect, and everything will just come off. So for right now, you may be asking, well, how do I clear it? Well, what you want to do is you just want to sell it or execute a trade. Okay, it'll drop into closed orders, and then what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, your closed positions will no longer be in there. Okay, you'll have to deal with them in the closed positions for a while, but that's going to be your workaround for now, because you can't clear the paper trader account yet because it's not available for you. All right, columns. You can add any column you want, guys. Just right click, find the columns you want to add and put them in there. Pretty easy to do. Make sure you're right clicking in the column header. Okay. And the next thing is building your strategies. And I don't have time for us to sit here and build one and add it and all that, but it's really easy to do. Okay, once you have it in your cloud, all you have to do is load from cloud. Okay, then you can go and find anything you want to load in the cloud and load it in here. Okay, once it gets in here, okay, it's not going to really have any trading instructions. Okay, as far as it might, I think if you back tested it, it should bring those over, but you definitely want to check it. So what you want to do is, what I mean by check it is, go in here and go right click, edit trading strategy. And we have videos on this too, guys. If you go to our Facebook, if you go to our YouTube page and go to just type in trade ideas and get to our main page and just go to playlist and look for connections to Broker Plus and things like, we have plenty of videos for this. But what you want to do is make sure the go long, go short is correct. Okay, you want to make sure you see icons in here to let you know that your strategy did get moved over. All right, and then you just kind of want to build your start time and build your end time. You want to check, let's say you only want to see 10 orders going through, and then you want to cut it off from any strategy, just check that, and you can change this number to anything you want to. All right, and send orders for a symbol at most once per day for this strategy. That's a very important one to check, because otherwise, if you keep getting duplicate, symbols coming through an A window, it's gonna trade every one of them. So just make sure you check that one as well. And then you can just build your positioning sizing on whatever parameters you want to use. Your order entry, okay, if you want to set a limit, I would do that instead of market. Otherwise, I think you're probably in paper trading mode is going to get a good feel anyway, but I like to use limit, last price, minus 0.2, that's a delta. So if the stock's trading at $10 on the offer and I go to buy it and that's the last print from my alert was $10, the most it'll go out is 10.02 to get that. Stop loss, you can use a percentage or you can use dollars. You can use a filter if you want to. I'm not going to get in depth on these. We will at some point, once we get, more and more. But really, when you first start using the paper trading, I'm sure a lot of people are just going to be doing it discretionary, maybe using some strategies, simple strategies to get in and out. But it's pretty easy to use. Once you set it up, just click OK, and your strategy will be set. Oh, and your hold time too. If you want a swing trading exit, okay, you can see this one is set up for a swing trading exit tomorrow plus 2 days at the open, okay, or you can do a day trading exit up here. And I'm going to cancel this so I don't mess up my strategies. Okay, beta version is, well, it's not 106, Waleed?
No, it is. It's 106 on the
Okay.
website now, currently.
All right. Am I missing any questions? Let me see.
No, Andy, I'm going to confirm
revenue
one more
growth.
time.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Anthony, getting back to revenue growth fishing, I think a lot of times, sometimes it's a gut feeling for me. Like Facebook, I was in Facebook before it came through there because I like Facebook down here on the 200-day moving average. So, but I think you make an alert, kind of like you see this green one right here that went off. Okay, so let's say you had it right there and it did not go off that day, okay? And then all of a sudden, boom, it goes off and you have a gap up the next day. You just got to buy something like that. If you're eyeballing this and your range you're looking at and you like it for the reasons, now, you got to remember, I'm swing trading and not day trading. So that could be a different animal. But Lyft, for example, I told Steve today, look at this beautiful move right here, okay? Look at this thing setting up. Even if he wasn't in it early, like I was, okay, today you had these 2 bars right here. You kind of had a, now this was kind of a red bar, but I was going to say we could have a go pause and then a go. But look at that break above this level right here. You had all this congestion over here and you had all, this high right here. Sometimes you just got to go with your gut feeling, okay? You have a stock that has been just demoralized, okay? I mean, this thing opened up at $88. It's been cut in half, okay? Same thing with Uber. sometimes, especially if I'm a swing trader, I'll just take a chance because I know my risk is low. Okay, that what I mean by that is most of the damage has been done. Sure, news could come out and this thing can gap down, but that can happen with any stock. Okay, so I'm looking to take a position uh, and ride it out and maybe give this fast line down here, or if I do small enough size, I could even give this low or this bar. But as far as entry goes, you like for them to break through a certain area, but sometimes I just get ahead of the game and go with the gut. It's like a lot of people may not buy this because you have the 50-period moving average up there. You have all this congestion over here. But I didn't buy this when I didn't see it, but I'll have my eye on it. I'll be looking at a break. As a matter of fact, I probably put a alert in right here. Because I know they have the potential with the revenue growth, okay, to be explosive, like Roku the other day, like Facebook now. Another beautiful one was Amazon the other day. Now I bought this in some trading area, right here when the market was running, and Amazon's got earnings coming up. A lot of people are going to buy this in the earnings. Well, on this day right here, as soon as it broke above this level ledge right there, that high going back there, I bought it. But we had a glitch in our software and accidentally sold it the same day. I mean, it was a pretty decent return, but it wasn't nothing to write home about, that's for sure. But all right, guys, that's all we have. Let me see, make sure. No, this is not alerting me, Anthony. That's where you're messing up. This revenue is a top list. This is a scan. This is finding me ideas. Now I could turn this into alert, like Wally did. I can turn this into alert and use a new high and make it a, let's say a 20-day high, and I would have been alerted today on Zillow. You can definitely do that, but I like to use a scan because alert goes off and then you don't like it and you turn it off and then you won't see it again. In other words, with this scan right here, I will see it. I will continue to see it because it's a scan. It's not an alert that comes and disappears. Okay. So what I like to do is just kind of use this and just use my gut feeling. Well, yeah, well, the problem is I'd gotten in enough lately. I gotten in Uber and Lyft and Facebook and what else did I get into? Oh, that GH I showed you. So I'm like, you know what? I'm fine right now. I don't need something to happen. But anyway, Jamie, we're out of time, and thank you guys for everything. And I'm going to bring in Scott. He's going to walk us out of here.
Good stuff, Andy.
And hang on, because he's going to offer you a discount code.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. On the way out, some items. The summit is coming up. If you are in Southern California, you should try to get a ticket. Just go to trade-ideas.com/summit. Use that code to get, I believe it's a 30% discount, the code you see on your screen. And then we can see you live in person on Saturday, the 26th. If you can't make it, go to the /livestream page and sign up to watch it live and then get the recordings afterwards. There's a lot of great content. It's a full day. Go to either of those links to see all the speakers. Also going to be an active traders panel toward the afternoon, so don't miss it. We've got a series of ebooks that we launched recently, and Andy and Jamie both contributed chapters. Go to trade-ideas.com/setup. Each book has 2 chapters. They include some cloud links that you can load up into your Trade Ideas application and use them. It's good stuff. It's free. Just sign up. We got a podcast we release on Friday. Should have a new one out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Just search for Trade Ideas Podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts and add us as a subscription. That way you'll be all set to get the next episode. And you can also listen to old ones. We've got some interviews in there that are in the back issues that are good if you scroll through and look for those. There's a code that's good this month. Use it to save 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas. You can also use it to Purchase Brokerage Plus fall into savings, all caps. It's case sensitive. Those of you on standard that want to do an upgrade can also plug that in and save when you upgrade from standard to premium. Follow Jamie on Twitter at QuantBot. Steve Gomez is at Today Trader. We've also got at Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle to like and to share everything we post with your friends. Info at trade-ideas.com is the place to send any questions. So any questions at all, send them to the info at email, and that goes into our help desk software and goes to the appropriate team member. Thanks, everyone. We're going to have the recording up later on tonight or tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Jamie.